Welcome back to Camp Out West and the start of our tiny house build series. If you're new here, we're Emily and John, and here's a recap on what we've done so far and our plans for this build. Last year, we sold our home and all our belongings to buy this abandoned caravan park that used to be home to the coal miners. When the mine closed back in 1989, the caravan park had been left to become completely overgrown. So as the new owners, we've been working hard over the last year and a half to clear up all the leftover rubbish alongside our day jobs. We have transformed the land. First we removed the old caravans, recycling whatever we could find. Then we started work levelling the ground, making a blank canvas where our first tiny house will go. Our land came with planning permissions for 3 residential park homes, so we are following the BS 3632 British standard for the build, building them onto chassis to make sure they're movable. We had ours made by a company called UE Chassis, who build them to the specialist park home regulations. Then next we poured our concrete slab where our chassis and tiny house will go. So let's dive into episode 1 of our tiny house build series, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see how we get on.
So today is finally the day. This chassis that's been sat here for over a year, it's time for us to actually move it a little bit closer to where it's going to be living and where we're going to be building the first cabin. So we ordered this and paid for this just a year ago, and we shouldn't have really. We got a little bit excited, like we saved up and we bought it, and it has just been sat here in the grass where it's now got a bit stuck. There's a little bit of surface rust where obviously it's had the weather on it. So today's task is to drag it down there, give it a clean up, and I think where we've got surface rust, we're going to sort of grind it off, treat it with a rust proofer, and then we're going to paint the whole chassis just to give it like a full proper coat. This has been painted with a black oxide primer, which is there to sort of prevent the corrosion, but I guess these aren't designed to be out in the weather. They're supposed to be underneath like a dry building. So we're going to put like a chassis paint on it, which is similar to the stuff you'd put under a car. So a little bit more like tolerant of the weather. So a bit of cleaning and a bit of grinding to do. So we're going to crack on. So weird to think this is our little house, and also like it's massive when you look down from here. I'm just going to chalk it first, yeah? Because I'd imagine if this starts rolling away, none of us is going to stop it. We've just finished pressure washing. So before I pressure washed, I used like a mild degreaser just to make sure we've got all the contaminants off. Pressure washed it off and it's dried out nicely. It's quite windy today, so it's only taken about an hour. But our next task is we're going to get the grinders out. We've got a couple of different sanding wheels and things, and we're going to take these areas here where you've got the surface rust coming through. We're just going to take all the paint off, take off the little pitting, and then we're going to treat it with a rust converter. And hopefully then we can paint over the rust converter then and it'll look much better. So both of us have just been grinding off the sort of surface rust areas. So anything that's shiny, you can see, that's now back to bare metal. We're going to treat it now with this product. I've looked at this for years. Built Hammer Hydrate 80. So this is like a rust converter. So it stops the metal from being able to oxidize. So I was going to buy this for doing stuff on the Land Rover. So if it's good enough for your car, it's probably good enough for this. So we're going to go ahead and paint this on. And then once this is dry, we can actually apply our proper paint finish to the chassis.
You tired, girl?
You tired?
She looks really tired.
So we've just got in the caravan. We finished up for the night doing the rust converter paint onto the chassis, and now we've had dinner and we're going to get ready for bed. But I don't know if you can hear it, it's just started raining outside, which is a bit worrying.
Yeah, so that stuff that we've put on, that rust converter, it says it only needs, it's like you can do 20 minutes before the next coat, or it's like half an hour until it's sort of dried or gone off. It's probably been an hour and a bit since we were out there, and it's just started spitting rain. So yeah, we're just hoping it's actually had enough time to go off, because yeah, we've spent most of the day doing that.
So yeah, to keep our minds off it, we're just going to do a little meditation before bed. Maggie, you want to do a little meditation?
Maggie looks chilled enough.
Yeah, she's so tired. Let's find a sleep one. We can do one of their sleep casts. Switching off. We'll do the wind down one.
Tonight's wind down is a breathing exercise. Let's begin. So, just take a moment to get comfortable, letting go of the day. Enjoying that feeling of having stopped, of having nothing left to do.
I always feel so relaxed after a meditation. Aww, Maggie does too, don't you? Aww. And we're so excited to welcome back Headspace as today's video sponsor. If you're new to Headspace, they are an incredible mindfulness and meditation app which both John and I have been customers of over the last 8 years. For us, as our lives are constantly on the go, doing this renovation project, alongside our full-time jobs, living in a field and being surrounded by mess, we're constantly reminded of all the things we should be doing, and we do really find it hard to take time out and just relax. So Headspace has just been an incredible tool for both of us to remember to take time out and reset. We used to be in a really bad habit of feeling like we needed to be doing stuff all the time, and we'd really struggle to not feel guilty when we wanted to take a break, and Headspace has just become an essential part of our daily life here on the land, helping us just find that balance that we need. For me, when I get overwhelmed, which happens quite a lot on the land with this project, Headspace really helps me just reduce those feelings before they start taking over.
And I love the sleep casts, kind of like the guided night sleep meditations, and I use them most nights to get to sleep. In the caravan here, obviously it can be really loud here, and it's kind of like a constant, you can just put that on and just switch off, and it really helps.
I think that's the great thing about Headspace, is you can do it anytime, anywhere, whenever you feel like you need to take a break out from the day, the app is just there.
I think our little meditations worked because Maggie is snoring here. I don't know if you can hear that.
So if you feel like Headspace might help you, you can try it out completely free for 60 days. Just head to the link in our description below or scan the QR code on screen and try it out. Let us know in the comments what you do to relax and switch off, and a special thank you to Headspace for sponsoring another video.
We worked until late last night, until it went dark on us, and this product that we're using says it only needs half an hour to set, which we thought would be absolutely fine. A couple hours after we went into the caravan it started to rain, but we've come out this morning and that rain has kind of, it's like gone through the coating that we've put on, so it's actually rusted more of the surface than when we started. So we're essentially just, this is part of the chassis, we're going to have to grind it all off and apply it again. At least it's a warmer day today. And we're going to leave it for a good few hours to cure before we can start painting. So the sun hasn't reached the chassis yet where we've parked it. Probably wasn't the best location, but it has reached the concrete slab. So what we're going to do now, because we've got some time to kill, because this is still damp and cold, we're actually going to take all of our timber off the concrete slab, pressure wash it, because that'll probably dry before this, and actually move the chassis into position.
Okay, so we just finished cleaning off the concrete base and now we're going to attempt to move the chassis into place. Looking at the chassis, it does look a lot bigger than the actual concrete slab, so I hope we've measured right.
We have measured.
Can you imagine?
Don't quote me.
Okay, not sure how we're going to do this. We're going to do it by hand or use the car?
I think we'll try and do it by hand. We figured because it's got 4 wheels, like 2 axles, if we can pull it down so the axles are in line with the middle of the slab, it should just turn 90 degrees. And then we might have to make some sort of ramps to get the wheels up.
This is such a big milestone for us, actually moving the chassis for our tiny house into where it's going to live.
Yeah, and thankfully the sun has come out because it's been dreadful for the last month. But yeah, still got a little bit more prep to do on the chassis, and then we can actually get some timber on and start building the cabin.
Okay, wish us luck.
Literally in the mud. Right. Good?
Yeah. We're doing it. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Stop. You make sure we don't puncture it.
Look, this is our house. Beep beep. Oh. I'll push with you, yeah?
Huh?
I'll push with you.
Or just keep it straight. That's all we need to do. Obviously, once it starts going, go. Go, go, go.
Close. I think we both need to push. I'm going to push here, okay? Like a bobsled.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
Stop. Right, we're square now. We're square. Yeah. Keep it straight. Come on, then. 3, 2, 1. There we go. There we go. The boards are falling out. go straight, you go straight. Turn. 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 Push.
I actually can't believe it fits.
Fucking hell.
I can't believe we got it on.
Hello. Oh god. I don't know about you, my shoulder is hooked.
It's in place.
Yeah, that was heavy. We had the Land Rover there on standby, but we just did it ourselves.
How much do you think it weighs?
I have no idea. It's got to be a few tons. It's a lot of steel.
This is actually mad. This has been what, 3 years in planning to do something like this. Very exciting.
Whew, hot now. Yeah, so we've got to get the grinder back out, sort out these little rust patches so we can get the top coat of paint on, and then we can start having some fun and start building something. But yeah, so watch this space.
So this is day 2 of using this grinder. Yesterday I was so nervous using it, I was sweating and I kept holding my breath every time it was on. Today I'm a bit more relaxed. I think I've just got used to the power of it. I've never used a tool like this before. So yeah, I'm a bit less nervous today.
So we finished up all the re-rust proofing with that built hammer hydrate stuff that we used. The rain was due to come in again last night, so I've just tarped it all over last night, and thankfully it looks like it's actually worked this time. So you probably can't even see it from there, but there's a big section here that we've done. The problem we had yesterday, when it got wet, it turned all rusty. You could see it through the paint, whereas now we've got these like hard black areas where the rust proofing has kind of oxidized or reacted with the surface. So I think we're ready now where we can actually start to paint if the weather allows us to.
We were ready to paint the chassis, but the weather had other ideas. So we decided to take a little break while we waited for the rain to stop and went to do our laundry.
So finally that rain has let up. We've been waiting now to progress on this for about a week. It's supposed to be sunny all day, so plan today, I'm going to start off roughing up the chassis, getting a bit of primer on the areas that we've rust proofed, and then we're going to do a full painting of the chassis with a chassis paint. So looking forward to this being done so we can crack on with building the floor then. So that's us. We've finally finished painting the chassis. So the chassis is now ready for us to start framing the floor on, which is amazing. And the weather's been really against us, but we have managed to get it done, which is great.
Yeah, we really want to try and be in the tiny house by Christmas. We said this last year, so fingers crossed this will be our year and we'll be in it on Christmas Day with our little log burner. So now we've painted the chassis. This week we're going to start work on the floor. So we're going to do the framing, the installation, and then put the floorboards on, aren't we?
Yep.
So yeah, we're really excited to just start cracking on with that.
If anyone's wondering why we've jumped onto the tiny house build and what's going on with the shower block, so the last video we put up, we quickly realised as soon as we put it up, people noticed straight away that we'd got the ratios of the cement and the ballast and the sand wrong. So the first ones we did were fine, and then pretty much every one we did with the cement mixer, we got the wrong mix. So yeah, thankful for everyone that pointed that out.
Yeah, thanks to everyone that actually left us comments, because if we hadn't have realised, we would have wasted more time doing more of them wrong, and it just wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, so we didn't do all of them, but there's a good few that need smashing up and starting again. And we've just taken that as a bit of an omen to kick us into starting the tiny house build. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and we can focus on the shower block in the spring because this is our priority now. But we hope you enjoyed watching the first instalment of our tiny house build series. We're going to take you along every single step of this house build along with the costings. So yeah, we hope you enjoy watching, and you can follow us on Instagram at CampoutWest to see what we get up to in the week. But we'll see you soon.
See you next time.